trophy, so to speak, as far as industry goes. And that will help the recruitment of industry so much, even to say that even though we're only at 20% now, to recruit industry and say that we are Freeport, that will help so much in the future as far as recruitment. And the city is going to do the same thing. They've committed to do it also. And so the industrial park will be, hopefully within a couple of years, we will have Freeport. Yes, sir.
What is your feeling on a multiple commission?
I feel like the people should decide, just like we did 2 years ago. And it was voted pretty handy to have one sole commissioner. And if we had a board, I might be up here running for a board seat right now. But we, you know, it should always be left up to the people. Now, we can't have a referendum every 2 years. I think it's either 8 or 10 years, Lewis might know, when we can vote again. So ask me in a few years how I feel. I'm commissioner for a while. Yes?
I know you're undecided as yet for sure on T-Splash, but knowing what Rob had said about the RNC's resolution that anything tied to Agenda 21 would be something that the Republicans are thoroughly against, and the transportation tax referendum is filled with Agenda 21, and it is an initiative. In fact, I have documentation from ARC stating that transportation is the most important aspect of a smart community and a sustainable community, which is an Agenda 21 initiative. So if you know that, would you still vote for T-Splash?
You know, I don't know. I still do.
Well, how can a Republican vote for it if it's in the resolution that you're not supposed to be for anything that has to do with Agenda 21?
I'm looking at the roads and the
well, why can't we get our taxes ourselves right here?
When you drove here this morning, you drove on a public road that was supported by some kind of taxes. And Bartow County stands to reap more of that benefit. I'm not telling you that I've decided to vote for T-Splash. I'm telling you as a responsible candidate that I'm going to look it over and decide how to go for it. But there is some positive aspects of T-Splash. Well, maybe we could use income tax to fund our road improvements or whatever. We're going to have to do something to improve our roads.
Please come June 9th because alternatives will be...
I've already talked to you about
okay.
it. I plan on being here.
Okay, good.
Did somebody else?
No, that was it. I was just going to say, if you were going to be planning to come on June, go to that meeting on June 9th and read the legislation, and if you, when you have time, take the time to Google Agenda 21 and read Agenda 21.
And I'll admit, I'm up to this week, I was totally ignorant on Agenda 21.
Section 4
I have started reading some of that.
Section 4 is particularly little with that, so you can look at it. But you know,
I'll do some more homework on that.
All I would ask is that everybody come to the meeting and hear the whole
thing. I agree. And I think the Tea Party's great. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying.
Well, we're not against transportation. Don't get me wrong.
And I didn't mean to imply that either. I didn't mean to imply that.
Okay.
But
I'll send you the written documentation from ARC.
Okay.
Okay, on how it is tied to Agenda 21.
Thank you.
Can you send it to me too?
All right, you too, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'll ask you a little less controversial one.
Okay.
You know, as you pointed out, we've had the same commissioner in office for the last 20 years, and I think we all agree he's done a pretty good job. But coming in behind him, what do you think? What do you think that you would change? What do you do? Would you do differently? What do you think you could improve upon?
Well, I think he's done a good job, but I think that the next commissioner, you know, Steve Bradley is the #1 man. He's leaving also. I think it's time for somewhat of a culture change in the commissioner's office. As I said, the last 50 years, except for 4 years, the county government's been run by, but for lack of a better word, bureaucrats, so to speak. I think fresh ideas is what the county government needs. And there's some departments, I think, that could be run much more efficient. I hadn't signed the pledge, no new taxes, but my personal pledge to myself is no new taxes. Now, I don't know if that's impossible to keep or not. It's gonna be tough. If I sign it, I plan on living up to it, and it may be a mistake to sign it. But my personal feeling, I would like to never raise taxes. And I think there's other ways to run the government besides raising taxes. In the past, county government got too big. We was at 900 employees at one time. But because of the revenues now, we're down to 700. And I'm not sure that we can't be at 600. I don't know. I think that's something that we could look at. And somebody told me every 24 employees is $1 million. That's salaries and health benefits and so forth. So if every 24 employees is $1 million, that means from 700 to 600, we've saved $4 million. And don't hold me to those figures because I was told that just a couple of days ago, and I hadn't confirmed that that's true, but I think it is pretty close. That's going to be around what, 45,000 per employee. So we're going to be pretty close with salaries and benefits. But I hope that I can run things more efficiently, to answer your question. And you know, as running a business, you can't run a business the way any government's been run. You would be out of business. And I'm thinking that practical business decisions, whether it's 20 employees or 700 employees, you still gonna make practical business decisions to help keep taxes low. And that's another generator for bringing jobs to Bartow County. Low taxes is why these companies should start looking at Bartow County, not low wages. People shouldn't come in here and say, I want to go to Bartow County because the wages there is low. They should want to come to Bartow County because the taxes is low. And that's my basic philosophy. Thank you.
Steve, I have one question. At the last event at the Plank Brown Center, you said you were conservative on some issues and moderate on some issues. I was wondering what issues you were moderate on.
Well, I don't remember saying that, but I guess maybe I did. The big issues I'm moderate on, I've got a lot of Democratic friends, and just to have, to some folks, to have friends that are Democrats, you're accused sometimes in some circles of being, you know, of kind of selling out some. We have strong disagreements sometimes, but I still love them. They're my friends, and they'll always be my friends. That's the issue I think I was speaking about at the debate. I have conservative values, social and fiscal conservative values. And I didn't, maybe I misspoke a little in that. But when I said I'm a little more moderate, that I was speaking to some friends that was actually in the audience then. And they're great friends. We go to dinner with them and we argue with them. But they love me and I love them. And that's what I was talking about, basically. Anybody else?
Any other questions? Appreciate you coming out.